Advanced science encoded in ancient texts. It is ignorant to refer to the Vedas, the Bible, the Quran, the Sutras, and any other ancient text as fairy tales without meaning or relevance, just as it is ignorant to view the scriptures of a competing belief system as wrong. Transreligious study unveils a treasure chest of wisdom, but that wisdom is not limited to spiritual advice. Embedded in those sacred texts is advanced scientific knowledge that we only have recently begun to discover or understand. The ancient Torah, for instance, contains mathematical codes so complex that they could only be uncovered with modern computers. One of the more simple codes, not requiring a computer, lies in the word Torah itself. The Hebrew letters of the word Torah, Tav, Wav, Resh, He, are placed in correct sequence every 49 letters throughout the book. The exceptions are the books of Exodus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, where this 49 skip code applies when the books are read backwards. As amazing as this is, it's only the tip of the iceberg. The Torah is not the only book containing secret numeric systems. The Quran also contains a similar sequence, except it's not with the number 49, but with the number 19, which has become known as the Quran Code. Here are some examples of scientific facts in ancient sacred texts which are supposed to have been known back then. Such facts are the evidence of transference of knowledge or communication with more advanced beings. According to the Vedas, nothing new is actually discovered, but merely recovered, and then lost again, and then once more recovered as civilizations rise and fall. The following is only a very small selection. Hinduism. The Rig Veda is full of astronomical data. For instance, it describes the Earth as a sphere. Contrary to contemporary belief, not all ancients viewed the Earth as flat. A few more verses were ahead of their time. From Rig Veda 1:84:15, the moving moon always receives a ray of light from the sun. Rig Veda 10:149:1, the sun has tied Earth and other planets through attraction and moves them around itself as if a trainer moves newly trained horses around itself holding their reins. And from Rig Veda 8:12:28, O Indra, by putting forth your mighty rays, which possess the qualities of gravitation and attraction, illumination, and motion, keep up the entire universe in order through the power of your attraction. The sum of references to astronomy have allowed ancient Vedic astronomers, such as Bhaskara, to calculate the time the Earth takes to orbit the Sun as 365.258756484 days, and that's only 3.5 minutes off the modern calculations. Based on his interpretation of verses in the Rig Veda, Vedic scholar Sayana was proven to have correctly assessed the speed of light. While modern scientists dispute the claim, saying that Sayana lived in the 13th century, not when the Vedas were written, he still knew the speed of light 300 years before it was discovered by modern science. Judaism. The Talmud claims that the lunar month is 29.53059 days. That's 29 days, 12 hours, 44 minutes, and 3 seconds. It took until 1952 for NASA to verify this incredibly precise calculation scientifically. Such a level of accuracy would normally require modern measurement tools or at least telescopes. Back when the Talmud was written, 500 CE, people thought that the universe had a few thousand stars. However, the Talmud says that that number of stars is 1 with 18 zeros. This is remarkably close to modern estimations that say that there are between 100 billion and 1 trillion galaxies in the universe, with about 1 with 11 zeros stars in each. And what's more is that Jewish oral tradition says that the universe began with a flash of light, and that this happened billions of years ago. Nowhere in the Bible does it say that the universe or even the earth was created 6,000 years ago. The number pi is also the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. This mathematical constant equals 3.141. The Book of Kings describes King Solomon's basin as being 30 cubits in circumference and 10 cubits in diameter, giving it a value of 3.0, which would be incorrect. However, Hebrew texts traditionally contain deeper meanings that are revealed when looking at spelling irregularities and numerical values in the words used. The word line in this verse is spelled as kava, containing a superfluous a at the end, so it's actually pronounced kav. Dividing the numerical value of the written word kava, 111, with the numerical value of the word kav, 106, equals 1.0472, and when multiplied by 3, the verse's implied value of pi is exactly 3.141. The Talmud also describes all sorts of objects that resemble modern inventions. The telescope, for instance, which was supposedly invented in the 16th century, is described in the Talmud as follows. Rabban Gamliel had a tube through which he could see at a distance of 2,000 cubits across the land, and a corresponding distance across the sea. In other parts of the book, there are references to flying boxes and flying towers, as if describing airplanes. For example, priests are not allowed to enter a cemetery, so the Talmud asks, is a priest permitted to fly over a cemetery in a flying box? In Job 38, verse 35, it implies that light can be transmitted and then manifest itself as speech. This would seem to anticipate a knowledge of radio signals or wireless communication. In Job 38, verse 19, in Hebrew, describes light as having a path or road. The idea that light travels as a beam rather than showing up instantly is a discovery of modern science. Job 38, verse 24 says that light can be divided. The book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 3 says that the universe is made of invisible elements. Job 28:25 states that air has weight. Ecclesiastes 1:6 says that the winds blow in cyclones. Samuel 22:16 and Jonah 2:6 say that the floor of the ocean contains deep valleys and mountains. And Job 38:16 says that the ocean contains springs. Facts difficult to ascertain without submarines. Islam. In the Quran 21:30, it says, "Have not those who disbelieve known that the heavens and the earth were of one piece? Then we parted them, and we made every living thing of water." The first part of this verse would seem to describe a Big Bang type of event, and the second refers to the fact that all living things are primarily comprised of water. The Quran 21:33 states, "It is He who created the night and the sky and the sun and the moon. Each of them swim along its rounded course." This accurately states that each follow a rounded course, namely the moon around the sun and the sun around the galaxy. A similar statement is expressed here. "And we have decreed set phases for the moon until it ends up looking like an old palm spathe. It is not for the sun to overtake the moon, nor for the night to outstrip the day. Each one is swimming in a sphere." That's from Surah Al-Sin 38-40. The idea that the universe is expanding is not new at all. Several Quran verses refer to it. "And it is we who have constructed the heaven with might, and verily it is we who are steadily expanding it." Quran 51:47. The fact that mountains prevent shocks in the earth as well as earthquakes is another very recent geological discovery. The Quran, however, states, "We firmly placed embedded mountains on the earth so that it would not move under them." Quran 21:31. And, "Have we not made the earth as a bed and the mountains as its pegs?" From Quran 78:6 and 7. And, "He cast firmly embedded mountains on the earth so that it would not move under you." Quran 31:10. The Quran also says that one stage of the universe was a gaseous mass in 41:11, thus predating modern science by a long time. The Quran 53:45 says that the gender of a human baby is determined by the ejaculated drop, thus predicting the scientific discovery that the female ovum contains only X chromosomes. I could fill an entire book with such facts, but that work will be up to others. The point being made here is that it requires some attentive awareness to discover such data. This information may not have been detected by casual readers of these texts throughout the ages because the information was unknown. Sacred writings seem to have been encoded in this way as if to say, look, we're not as ignorant as you think. So to prove this, we'll encode information that can only be discovered by later generations.